It's Monday. I am making my third coffee and I'm going to the pottery studio. Am I gonna regret this third coffee later? Yeah, probably. I've been really good at having like one coffee a day. It's terrible. I just feel like it. I have some things at the studio ready to trim and I'm making them as like these little keep cup, coffee cup thingies. You'll see the vision. I already have a mini drop ready to photograph, but I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow because it's gonna be dark by the time I get home today. So you'll see that later in the video.
Don't try to test me.
Vultures is not doing what I want it to do. And I really think if you are a fan of somebody, everything aside of what goes into being a Kanye fan, if the album doesn't hit, the album doesn't hit. And like coming off the back of Donda, which I think is an absolute masterpiece of an album, every song is a slap. I don't know, I wanted more from Vultures, and like it's got some good songs on it, it's got some good hits on it, you can dance along with it, there's some fun bits in there, but I don't know, it just feels like a watered down version of Donda. It doesn't give me anything fresh, you know? Saying this as someone who like is nowhere near in the region of creating anything musically to that level, so there's all respect to these people. I'm just saying, you know, with a critical eye, with a critical ear, I feel like Nicki Minaj's album wasn't finished. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna put that out there and we're just gonna be done with it. Beyonce's got me listening to country music. Let's do it!
Remember late nights cruising and wasn't nothing to it. Flicking up the shit, we about to make a movie. Pouring up a cup, we about to set the mood in the cup, rolling up, smoking something groovy. I get excited when you're not biased. Love is in my head, I won't stop trying. I get excited when you're not biased. Love is in my head, I won't stop trying. Got somebody that you loving well, oh well. Faking innocence and I won't tell. Little bit of ghetto and a little bit of bougie. Ain't afraid to get this in a motel. Love calling my name, love playing my games. You ain't got no shame, but in my part the blame. I get excited when you're not biased. Love is in my head, I won't stop trying. I get excited when you're not biased. Love is in my head, I won't stop trying.
Alright, so I've been reading more books lately and I want to talk about the books that I've been reading because I was literally just talking about this on a podcast episode that I just recorded that will be live when you listen to this, when you're watching this, about using everything that you have and like taking advantage of all of the resources that you have available. And look, I have a lot of books, right? Have I read all these books? No. Do I want to read these books? Yes. And so what I've been doing, this has no order to it whatsoever. I kind of thought about maybe I'm going to order it by genre, maybe I'm going to order it by like author. I'm definitely not going to order it by color. Like, this just doesn't make sense to me because I don't want to read a book based on the color of the cover. I want to read the book based on its contents, pretty much paraphrasing MLK there. But the way that I think I actually want to organize my books is ones I've read and ones I haven't read, so I can just come to this bookshelf and pick up from a stack of books that I have not even cracked the spine on yet and read them. And that way I'm more conscious of them, and instead of thinking that I constantly have to be ordering new books, because there's a lot of books that I want to order and there's a lot of books that I want to read in this world, but I also already have a fair few in these stacks that I want to get through. We'll talk about these books right now. So this book, there is a much better cover to it than this one, but this is the cover that I got. A Certain Hunger. And the reason I ordered this is because, where is it? Where is it? I have no idea what it looks like. I don't know where it is. Where is it?
1 hour later.
Alright, I read this book because one of my favorite books of all time is American Psycho. Judge me, whatever you will. There's a lot I can say about this book. It is disgusting, it is awful, but I love it. And a lot of reviews, and also I think the author has even said that American Psycho was one of her inspirations for writing this. And this has basically, it's not spoiler alert 'cause it's kind of in the title, it's basically based on a woman who is a food writer and a cannibal. She eats her lovers, if you will. Look, I'd give it a solid 3 stars out of 5. I feel like it was a little bit overwritten, it was a little bit indulgent, but I also think that's kind of the point because she's a food writer, so it's meant to be like this indulgent language. It was okay. Probably not gonna read it ever again, but it's good, it's fine. And then I read this one, which honestly, not into. So this like new foray into me prioritizing reading fiction more than non-fiction. Not that many wins, but we persist. Like, nothing happens in this book. When I tell you nothing happens, nothing happens. And I don't mind a slow book. I actually quite like a slow book. But this was just, I don't know, like, you're going to work, you're coming home from work, you're getting fired. Like, I need a little bit more of something than that. I read it in like a day. It occupied my afternoon, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It has the same kind of vibe and energy sort of My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I liked this a lot more. If you like weird, depressing books, then you're probably gonna like this as well. Not much happens in it, but more happens in this than in this. So if you want not much happening, but also like things happening. I am terrible at talking about books. This is really hard. The new me reminded me of My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So like, don't read this one, but maybe probably read this one. Okay, now these are some books that are on my to read pile, the things that I'm gonna be going through over the next couple weeks if I don't get distracted by other books, which I do a lot because, you know, if I'm not enjoying something, I have other things to pick and choose from, and I'm way happier to be like, I'll just come back to this in a few weeks or months or years, because why force yourself to read something you're not enjoying, you know? I'm reading The Women Who Run with Wolves. I read this years ago, but I remember I had a library copy, so I didn't get to like do my notes and highlights in it. I'm reading it again. I feel like this is one of those books that takes a long time to read because I will read a chapter and then like carry on with my life, and then a week later read another chapter. It's a very big, tiny letters filled with a lot of juice kind of book, and I think for me it wouldn't make sense. Like, there's just simply too much to absorb to do it in like one speed read through. It just feels more fun to read a bit and then think about it as I move through my life. I'm like, is this the way that I am a woman running with wolves through my life? So this is one that I'm reading now. And another one is Alan Watts' The Wisdom of Insecurity. This one, which doesn't have like this exciting, I love these type of covers of the Alan Watts books. I have a few more of his like this. This one was not from that category, not from that design category, which I'm very sad about. But this is maybe one of the greatest books ever written. I will be as bold to say, the book on the taboo against knowing who you are. It feels like things come into alignment as you're reading it. My understanding of myself feels like it gets a lot clearer whenever I read, honestly, anything by Alan Watts. I really enjoy his perspective of life and the world and the universe and what it all means and the chaos of it all. It just feels very calming and reassuring and holistic. Like, he takes a lot of things into account and doesn't gloss over things, which I think is really comforting and also feels very honest. So the wisdom of insecurity. Let's do it. And then, because I know I said I was getting into my fiction era and those two are decidedly not fiction, I'm gonna give this another go. I started reading this last year and just did not like the characters, and I think I read like a chapter and was like, they're annoying me too much, don't want to read it. But, and I don't know if it's just because it's got an excellent cover, but I see a lot of people reading this, I see it around on the interwebs a lot, so I'm like, it must be okay. Like, the characters, you must start to like them, right? So we're gonna give this another go. And then my favorite book that I read for the first time last year was The Secret History, and this is a testament to how much I love a good slow book, because this is a thick boy, okay? And I read this in maybe like 4 days. And honestly, not that much happens to it. They go to a lot of Latin classes, and really, it takes a lot of words for not that much to happen. But it was beautiful. Like, Donna Tartt, stunning. She could write about anything, but unfortunately for us, she only writes one book a decade, so we only have a few to pick from. And the next one is The Little Friend. So I'm gonna crack into this, and I hope that it is just as beautifully written and addictive as The Secret History.
Let's be real, let's be straight. Use these dead and seasons big. Let's just shut them up. Let's be real, let's be straight. Use these dead and seasons big. Use this fish out the water. Oh, somebody please pick up your. Let's be real, let's be straight. Use these dead and seasons big. Use this fish out the water. Oh, somebody please pick up your mate. You don't want it with the mum or the daughter. Yeah, it's lyrical slaughter, babe. You can't catch me at this rate. No, you can't catch me at this. I make the picture bigger, I zoom in. Got a lyrical jigger is blooming. Hits hard like liquor and cumin. Sometimes get so mad just fuming. I'll step through, yeah, I'll fumigate like.
I'm just packing some orders, but I don't think I've ever actually shown this little mini collection, mini drop of ceramics on YouTube, so I'll share them with you right now. So these ones I did on this white Cone 6 clay and drew on them all with an underglaze pencil. This is my first like official ceramic design, so I did a little restock of these ones, which is my Make Art and Be Hot mug. And I also did this guy, which is Trust in the Universe, which is based on my, like, hi, the struggle. Oh my god. Can we see? It says Trust in the Universe. You're just gonna have to trust me. And then I did my ashtrays in flames and in barbed wire, and like, look, are the sizes perfectly consistent? No, but I think that's kind of the beauty of getting a handmade ceramic, right? So I'm packing up a few orders with these, and I will leave the link below if you want to get them, because there are a few pieces left in the shop as well. Thank you so much for watching the vlog. If there's anything that you want to see, if there's anything that you want me to show on these, I want to do them as like a little weekly studio life vlog, so please let me and Vivian know what you want to see, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
I make the picture bigger, I zoom in. Got a lyrical jigger is blooming.